Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream, and welcome back to the channel for more Destiny 2 news and intel. Hopefully you're having a fantastic Friday, because once again, it is XUR Day, as well as the return of Trials of Osiris. So as always, I'll give you a brief rundown on those two things, as well as all the other farms, glitches, and cheeses that you can use heading into the weekend if you haven't had very much chance to play this week. There are some really good ones, as well as some new ones that were recently discovered, so lots to talk about as far as that is concerned. But first, let's head over to XUR. And today, XUR is selling the Tractor Cannon Catalyst as well as the Le Monarch Catalyst. These are both very good PvE catalysts to have. We have the Bombardiers with a 61 roll for the Hunter class. We have the Mask of the Quiet One with a 69 roll. Hey, let me hear about it in the comments section, even though I will, even if I don't say anything, with a decent stat roll. Mobility is kind of lost on this particular exotic, but still not bad if you don't have one. And then we have a Sanguine Alchemy with a 65 roll. Decent stats. We have the exotic class items, again, for sale this week for 41 strange coins, so now's the time to farm them if you were able to unlock them during the Festival of the Lost and you haven't had a chance to just straight up farm exotic class items from XUR. It's probably the best farm location for exotic class items, or at least one of the easier ones. We still have the XUR surfboard or the Zurfboard for sale, the skimmer. I know I'm going to buy it this weekend. I just want it here so that everybody can see that it's still there if you haven't had a chance to pick it up. Maybe you haven't tuned into XUR the last few weeks. But then the other big thing is we have Artifice Armor also available this week. So we have our class items, our exotic class items, as well as Artifice Armor. Very rarely do you see both of these things sold together. Sometimes you won't see either one at all. I'm going to buy this piece of Artifice Armor. This is an amazing piece of Artifice Armor if you're on a Warlock. The Hunters got a really high mobility roll. I think it's a 30 plus stat roll on the mobility for their piece of Artifice Armor. The Titans, I'm not totally sure. It was a decent stat roll, but I think the Warlocks certainly seem like they got the best of it this week as far as the Artifice Armor goes. Now, I'm going to buy this because I want to show everybody something, because I always get a lot of questions about Artifice Armor, but we're going to go back to that after I show you the rest of XUR's loot. Over on our second page, interesting, we have our, of course, the Favor of the Nine buff. Pick it up if you're going to be farming those exotic class items for strange coins. We have Ascendant Shards for 41 strange coins. We have Enhancement Cores for 17 strange coins. 11 Enhancement Cores for 11 strange coins. Terrible deal. We have 17 Enhancement Cores for 23 strange coins. Also a terrible deal. We have Glimmer for 5 strange coins. You can get 19,997, 20,000 Glimmer. You can get 70,000 Glimmer for 11 strange coins. Great deal. I am always a fan of the Glimmer sales, because I always find that, Glimmer is one of those things where if you can find just an easy source, it makes your life a lot easier. I know a lot of people probably get Glimmer just from playing the game, but, this is a lot for very cheap. We have Crucible Engrams available this week. You can get 3 Crucible Engrams for 23 strange coins, and then we have our, of course, Strange Gift Offering. Remember, you can get things like raid banners from here, other weird odds and ends. You might even get a enhancement core or 2. Then over on our strange gear offers, we have our Hawkmoon, of course, with Quick Draw and, let's see, Textured Grip. We have a Monte Carlo. We have the Risk Runner, and we have the Black Talon. Now, all of these are decent when paired with the right rolls. I would actually maybe recommend giving Risk Runner a try right now because it's in the Champions meta. There might be some better options, but with an Arc build, this could do some work for you in something like a GM. And we have a Black Talon, which never been the thing that I've gone to, but people swear by it. So decent weapons. Monte Carlo can be very good in PvP for Titans, I still think. Maybe that's an antiquated build, but they used to be really good. I used to see a lot of Titans running this. For legendary weapons, we have a Blood Feud with Triple Tap, Focus Fury, and Right Hooked. Deep Sight activation weapon available. We have a Spare Rations with Moving Target, Vorpal Weapon, and Disaster Plan. Very decent weapon here. We have a Brigand's Law with Hipfire Grip, Sympathetic Arsenal, and Right Hook. Another Deep Sight activation weapon available. We have a Soul Survivor with Lead from Gold, Vorpal Weapon, and Disaster Plan. We have a Code Dulo with Impulse Amplifier and Unrelenting. We have a Memory Intradect with Impulse Amplifier and Danger Zone. And then we have for the Warlocks an Eternity's Edge with Infinite Guard, Tireless Blade, and Flash Counter. Remember to let me know in the comments anything I might have mispronounced or, maybe a certain stat roll. Of course, remember anything will give you entry into the next giveaway on this YouTube channel for this video. Remember, we do want every 1,000 subscribers. For legendary armor, it's pretty vanilla. Not a bad set of boots, but the Artifice Armor pieces of boots for the Warlock, at least, are way better. Haven't had a chance to take a look at the Hunter or Titan rolls on legendary armor, but let me know in the comments if there was anything stand out. There probably is going to be one piece for each that is decent. Let me know. Of course, we'll give you another entry to the next giveaway as well. And normally we have exotic ciphers available, though I don't see them. Normally there's a XUR quest that will give you an exotic cipher, but seems as though the menus have been switched up a little bit. Maybe that's a change to XUR. I'm going to take this because I need it. But exotic ciphers, remember, you can get from ranking up XUR, and they allow you to turn exotic pieces of armor into Artifice Armor, which is going to lead me back to Artifice Armor in general and the piece that I just picked up. Because a lot of people ask me when I say you can get, this level of stat on a piece of Artifice Armor, they always question it because they look at the stat that you get when you buy it and think that's it. But of course we have to upgrade it first. So let's just go through. This 65 roll, I have a feeling, is going to turn into a high 80, maybe even a 90 plus roll. I don't know if it's going to be higher than the current set of Artifice Armor that I have, but I did want to just do this. I'm sacrificing my strange coins just to give you people an example of what can be achieved with a piece of Artifice Armor and why you should want it, if you can get it. In my opinion, things like this are the best things that XUR sells. So, we're going to upgrade it. And when it's fully upgraded, the stat bonus should go a bit higher. So, we started off at 65. Let's see where it is when we're done. Okay. So, we started at 65. We are now at 77. Okay. So, that's a pretty big bump. Now, let's go and add some of the stat bonuses to it. So, let's see. What's this kind of low in? My current piece of Artifice Armor is at a 90 when fully upgraded. It's kind of low in resilience, so let's pack on a bit of resilience. We got decent discipline, great recovery, so we don't have to worry about that. So let's just go into it and throw on a bunch of resilience mods. Let's see if we can throw on 2. And now let's see where we're at. So we are now at 90. Okay, so this piece of Artifice Armor is actually as good as the piece that I am currently running, which I farmed for in a dungeon. So if you want it actually might be slightly better, as there's less mobility wasted on this piece of Artifice Armor. I'm actually liking it a little bit more. Maybe slightly more intellect. Yeah, I'm going to say that this piece of Artifice Armor is actually better than the piece that I've been running. So, welcome to the welcome to my group of armor Osprey boots, or whatever they're called, because now this is going to be my new piece of armor that I am running. So congratulations to me. But that, I just wanted to show everybody why it's important to pick that up when they are sold. When Artifice Armor is sold from XUR, it is really one of the best things that you can buy from XUR. So don't waste your money on other things if you don't have a good set of Artifice Armor boots. If you don't have a good set of boots, if you don't have Artifice Armor boots, that's the first thing you should buy today, at least if you're on a Warlock. So now we'll take a just tour quickly around the tower. Remember, this week, Bungie gave us free quote-unquote god rolls from Banshee 44. You can pick them up on your second page. They should be right here underneath the featured weapons. Whether or not they were 100% god rolls, still up for question. I think most of them were very, very good. They seem to be the rolls that people just weren't able to get. We have a deep sight activation weapon available on the Ikilos SMG. This is a really good SMG, so pick that up if you don't have it. We have a 1-2 punch hand-in-hand shotgun, which is still very decent perk. And we have a Peace of Mind, another deep sight activation weapon. Pick up your god rolls from Banshee, quote-unquote god rolls. Bungie didn't specifically say that they were the best rolls on those weapons, but just the ones that people weren't able to get because of the perk weighting glitch. Some of them I thought were better than others, but definitely worth picking up all of them. Over on Commander Zavala for this week's featured weapon in the Nightfall and GM Nightfall, we have the Wild Style Grenade Launcher. Remember, we also got the launch of the GM node, so you can now do all the GMs until you complete them. Once you've completed it, it will be removed from the node. So if there is a particular weapon that you want to farm, and it's not wild style, you might want to wait on the week that that weapon becomes available so that you can do the easier strikes in the GM playlist. All of them are pretty difficult at the moment. This week's featured strike is the Birthplace of the Vile, which is probably the easiest one to farm, as it's only Overload and Unstop champions. And if you have any of the new grenade launchers, such as the one that I currently have equipped, like the Lost Signal, it's also a Stasis Surge in that particular strike, you are going to destroy things. So bring one of these. Another good grenade launcher is the Velocity Baton if you have this, even though, of course, it's not Stasis, but the interaction of this particular type of grenade launcher where you essentially have the Wither Horde. I'm sure a Wither Horde would do really well in this particular strike as well. It just sits there. It'll stun the champion aggressively over and over again. So, you know, if you're going into the GM Nightfall, think about that. Also, maybe think about a pulse rifle with arc. Seem to do really well. The Anarchy is amazing again at the moment. I'm so glad to see it back in the meta for endgame stuff. I do have a tutorial for the Birthplace of the Vile for solo players. If you're trying to do it on the normal Nightfall or on the GM difficulty. But I haven't released it yet because I'm trying to decide if I want to do a cumulative thing where I show all the GMs or one at a time. But let me know in the comments if you're looking for a GM guide for the Birthplace of the Vile. As I said, it's probably one of the easier ones, so it might not need a tutorial. But there is some glitches specifically for the boss that I think can come in handy for solo players. So let me know in the comments section down below if you'd still like to see that. I can always release it over the course of the weekend. Sorry, I'm a little behind on those things, as I did mean to release one earlier this week, but then some other stuff. Life gets in the way sometimes. For this week in Trials of Osiris, the map is Rusted Lands, and I don't know when the last time it was Rusted Lands, but the weapon for the Adept is the Prophet. Now, I'm not sure how popular this one is, but I could see this being very good in PvE. I don't know if it's the thing that's going to drive the PvP focused players out to play Trials this weekend, so it might not be a particularly sweaty week if you're trying to go flawless for the first time. But Rusted Lands is a very glitchy map. There used to be a really major glitch that allowed you to basically get outside the map while still participating with your teammates. I don't know if that's been patched. Probably has. It was years ago now. But remember, we also have a yesterday's question at rank 10 and the tomorrow's answer at rank 16. You can still do the viewer bounties to get free trials loot. If you'd like to know a little bit more about that, let me know in the comments section down below. I have talked about it before. And now for the final wrap-up of today's video. We're just going to run around the directory really quick. We've already covered the Nightfall. For the exotic mission this week, we have the Presage or Presciage. For the dungeons, we have the Ghost of the Deep dungeon. You can farm Artifice Armor here. We also have the Prophecy. You can't farm Artifice Armor here, but there is some amazing rolled weapons you can get from the first encounter, which is very easy to solo. For the featured raid, I don't think it's over here on Europa, but for some reason that page won't load. Now nothing will load. Thank you very much, Destiny. Gotta love the servers. Over on the moon, though, I did want to talk quickly. We do have the In the Deep mission available again this week. Obviously not as big a thing when you're not farming candy from it, but if you're looking for the only AFK XP farm still available, AFK in quotations, I call it passive. It's not fully AFK, but it's about as passive as it gets. You can go and farm the In the Deep this week. Again, if you'd like to know anything more about any of the topics I comment on, you can let me know in the comments section down below. You can still solo farm the Garden of Salvation first 2 secret chests for new red border weapons from the Garden of Salvation. Remember, you can just glitch in and get them. It's pretty amazing. You've been able to do that for a while, but never more prevalent than it is right now. Over on Savathun's Throne World, we have today's legendary Lost Sector. No raid to speak of here. Where is the raid this week? Is it over on Europa? It is, in the Deepstone Crypt. One of the oldest raids, I think, currently still in the game. Not a bad one. Some decent weapons from it. Pretty easy to farm out. Get some good red borders. Vespers host is not patched still, and this is probably the best thing to be farming this week, if you're not doing exotic class items, of course, in that you can get Artifice Armor as well as new weapons from this dungeon. It's double loot this week, and you can still do the glitch for the first encounter as a solo player, which will let you get all of those things I just mentioned. If you're just looking for the new weapons, you don't have to do it on the master difficulty. But if you want the new weapons as well as Artifice Armor, you can go and solo the first encounter by glitching out of the map. I've covered it many times on the channel. If you'd like to know more about it, you can always look back to one of those videos, or you can ask more in the comment section down below. And the other raid should be over on Neptune. We have the Root of Nightmares, my least favorite raid. Let me know what your favorite raid currently in the game is. This one, I just don't like the boss. Aesthetically, very pretty. Hate the final boss, though. We also, of course, had the launch of the new activity, the revised Prison of Elders, Contest of Elders, or Tomb of Elders, however you'd like to refer to it as. Lots of loot you can get from the Contest of Elders or Tomb of Elders. So head in there. It's actually a pretty fun activity, though it does seem rather long. When I was doing my Contest of Elders run first time, even though it's not showing that it counted, I think I must have had to have done one more Tomb of Elders before I went into the Contest of Elders. I went in too early. Bottom line, went in too early. I wish those things were retroactive, because I was in here for almost 45 minutes, and I kept thinking that it was over, but it wasn't. It's not over until you get to the big treasure room. Maybe this could have been a little bit shorter. I don't know. Let me know if you've been enjoying the reprised Tomb of Elders or Contest of Elders or Prison of Elders in the comment section down below. I actually think it's a really fun activity. Just really long. Really, really long. And that is going to conclude all the information in today's video. Hopefully you found something in this video helpful. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on the bell to post notifications so you never miss out on any future Destiny 2 content like this. You can also follow me on Instagram. It'll be linked in the description box down below. Remember, any of those things I just mentioned, as well as leaving any comment in the comment section, will give you another entry into the next giveaway. For this video, we do one every 1,000 subscribers, so you never want to miss out. And, of course, when and if we reach 100,000 subscribers, we'll be giving away an Xbox Series or a new PlayStation or a video card if you play on PC. Hopefully everybody has a great weekend farming out the items that you want. And, of course, I'm Wilhelm Scream. We will see you next time.